This video was brought to you by Markus Bil, Elbilmek, ABRP, Steurenberg, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We're sitting in the Volkswagen ID7 Tourer and today we're going to do 1000 kilometer challenge. So, you know the regular fastback, whatever, did it in 9:25. Can we match it? We have slightly less efficient car, but we should charge pretty fast. So I'm on a cleavage again, a little bit unusual location. I'm now charging up to almost 100%. We're gonna finish in 1 minute supposedly. So we might start at 9 exactly, or yeah, we have to round it at 9. Okay, and if we look here, we see that we try to reach spec road with 35%. Wait, how do you see the whole route here? There. Yeah, so it's going to be raining around here, but at least over here it should be fairly dry. So yeah, it's not that cold today, hopefully. So we'll see. Can we do it in around 9.5 hours? Well, there's only one way to find out. We have to wait for the charging to finish first. All right, we are off. That was exactly at 9. But you look at the weather. We have this crazy rain, but only until Oslo supposedly. So yeah, we have to look at the weather and the left lane huggers and just deduct, because I know that from cleavage to the border it's supposed to be 1 hour and 14 minutes. So by the time we get to the border, we can just find out how much time we spend and then we just correct for it. So this is not a normal time for me to start, but I just had no choice. Yeah, and yeah, guys, these guys are driving so slow in the rain. We are now at the border between Norway and Sweden. This is the Schweinsund Bridge. And we're supposed to be here after 1 hour and 14 minutes. We are here after 1 hour and 18 minutes. There were some delays. So we have to deduct 4 minutes then. Yeah, some delays, some slight road construction thingy, road works, slowdowns. So that's it. But look at the consumption, 194 watt-hour per kilometer. We even have some headwind now. Huh? This is the beast from the east. Okay, maybe not the Eastern Europe, but at least it's a nice car. Yeah, okay. So now we're in Sweden. Now we can hammer it because the taxes over here are lower. We are now at Kungsbacka. We made it all the way here, just like the other ID7. So that is good. It should correspond, right? But you see here, I try now to not close the door fully because I think something messes up if we close it all the way. So don't remember what the heck was going on with the cooling, but okay, look at this. We are, wait, don't close it fully. We are charging at 182 kilowatt. Oh yeah, and it's fairly flat. We came here with 26 degrees Celsius in the battery, and that is good enough as long as we go deep. We arrive at 4%. So yeah, I will try to follow the same path as last time, which is to go to the turnaround point and then go to Halmstad. So yeah, I can do something like this. This is pretty awesome. You go here, and you zoom in a bit, enhance, wait. Yeah, here. That's the turnaround point. So I just click here. I click here. Oh man, I was being too impatient here. Okay, no, go, start. And then you make a waypoint, and then you go to Halmstad here, supercharger, right? On the way back, no. Wow, there's so many chargers now. What? Okay, here. It's supposed to be here somewhere. Where's this? Huh? Wow. What? Where is it? No, it's supposed to be here. For some reason, the supercharger doesn't show up. I'm pretty sure it's here. Ras plus EU. What? Huh? and then stop over. No, move it up. There. Oh yeah, alles gut. What, we're gonna drive 175 kilometers, really? Oh, look at that, we're taking 184 kilowatt now at 21%. Wow, game over. Uh-oh, the battery started rapid gating. We hit 51 degrees Celsius. We are now charging at only 93 kilowatts. But I calculated that we should have enough now. We have a budget of around 250 watt hour per kilometer to drive that 175 kilometer. But I will show you that I messed up during the charging session. The cooling was running, and then I opened the door, and I was like, hey, there is nothing in the display. Then I pressed the power button, and then the cooling stopped. I can show you. It's like something like this, right? When it was off, and then if you start the car. Okay, now it doesn't happen. Okay, whatever. But let's just check. We're gonna leave now. How long did we charge on the first charging session? From 4% to 58% in 18.5 minutes. Okay, let's go. We are now in Belgium, and no, I'm just kidding. We are now at the concrete surface at Falkenberg, and yeah, I mean, the car is not over loud. Remember that we are in the 120 zone even. But I'll show you once we get over to the left lane that it becomes a lot quieter over here. So the surface is quite rough on that side, but we have 19-inch wheels. So last time I had 19-inch wheel on the ID7 was during winter with winter tires, and then I had 20-inch wheels with the other ID7, the Pro S, what they was called. Yeah. Let me check the wind also. Let me see. Okay, I'm looking at the wind turbines, trying to determine where the wind is blowing. I think we have some headwind, what I see. That could explain why the consumption is 245 watt hour per kilometer right now. But I think the noise levels are pretty good. You see, if I go back here, yeah, it becomes noisier. But of course, 19-inch will help for noise reduction on these rough surfaces. But one thing that this car is missing is the DCC. And I feel like it becomes a bit bouncy sometimes over some of the bumps on the motorway, whereas the DCC seems to be able to settle better, and also some of the harsh bumps I can feel it more here, whereas with DCC, if I put it in comfort mode, it becomes incredibly comfortable. I haven't done a direct comparison side by side, but at least from what I remember, the DCC actually made the car a lot nicer. So maybe one day I should do a comparison. We are now at Halmstad. We arrived with 6% or something, like a ninja again. I didn't use a battery planner that much. I have to have the door cracked open slightly. I have to go to Circle K, but the trick is that eventually once I get back, it's gonna mess up the cooling. So I better go now before the more serious cooling starts. And then as always, I have HVAC off. Okay, let's go. Well, we're back in the car, and we are suddenly at 72 kilowatt. I don't know what the heck happened. The battery was at 51 degrees Celsius. And then suddenly HVAC came on. I don't know, I didn't touch nothing. And that messed up the cooling. And now we're charging dog slow. But according to my calculation, we should have enough. We're gonna go for Spekkerød, Ioniq Spekkerød. But if we can't make it there, we can always bail out on the stop before, which is Konghalla. Okay, let's go. We don't want to camp at 69 kilowatt for too long, but it seems like the charging is fine, the cooling is fine, but the software keeps messing up. In case I enter the car, it just messes up some of the cooling and slows down the charging. Oh, the batteries are 52 degrees. Normally we get 220 kilowatt power. Look at this, we try it. Oh, we have power gate, only 170 kilowatt. Oh, okay, so slight overheating. but no big deal. But this time we actually charged for only 16 something minutes. Okay, we didn't charge to almost 60% like last time, but still overall I think that we had a faster charging session this time. So wow, I mean every charging session is quite stressful. But let's go, chop, hammer it. We are now at Specular. Oh man, look at this beautiful car. I don't know about you, but I'm so tired of those SUVs. Why do we need SUV? I mean, do you live on a farm? Is that it? Do you have a cabin where you have to off-road to that place? No, as long as you live in a normal house and you have roads that goes to your cabin, then there is no need for an SUV, is it? Huh? Why don't you get this? It's more efficient, it's sexier, it has a better ride. Huh? So you see, every time I start charging, I've been nailing it so far. So I came with 6%. Every time now, boom, 500 amp. Oh yeah. Can't wait to test the Pro S battery, because the Pro S battery has higher voltage. It should start a little bit over 400, like 420 volt maybe, the charging voltage. That's how Pro S battery, the 91, wait, was it 91, 92? I don't know. But the bigger battery can charge over 200 kilowatt hour per hour. Okay, but anyway, a little pit stop here again. But what is important is that the cooling will eventually start, and every time I enter the car, it messes up the cooling a bit. But you see that it hasn't started yet. Here, this indicates that the AC is running at maybe 600 watts. Okay. Let's see what happens now in 5 minutes. Wait a minute. The first session was a bit slower than the second and the third now. I wonder, could this have anything to do with water-cooled cables? Because we are now at Ioniq, which has water-cooled cables. Previously also at Halmstad, there was supercharger. But the first session was not water-cooled cable. And it dropped kind of fast in the beginning, and we were at only 128 amps. Maybe after around 5 minutes, the water cooled, I mean the whatever in the hypercharger, since they're not water cooled, it will hit the limit, and then you don't get 500 amp. But you, like here we were taking 450 amp, but those non-cool water cooled cables, they will then default to 375 amp, which corresponds to around 130 kilowatt. If my theory is true, then for the best speed you must use Ioniq or supercharger or anything with water-cooled cable. But now this is going to hit 51 degrees Celsius and it will rapid gate slightly. But here, this should mean that the cooling is kicking in now at 2.8 kilowatt, and it's going to ramp up. But we're almost good to go. Yeah, so no problemo. All right, that was only a 14-minute charging stop. And yeah, I noticed something else here. When we left the charger, we had 51.5 degrees in the battery, and we had 200 kilowatt power limit, which is barely a tiny little limit only. But then after driving for 8 minutes, we are already down to 48 degrees Celsius. So it cools down pretty fast. But the most impressive part was that in the beginning, it was pulling only 2 kilowatt for this here, the AC unit. And now it's pulling 1 kilowatt. It already stepped down after just 8 minutes. But in comparison, the Korean cars, they will be pumping in like 3 to 4 kilowatt for a good 15 minutes or so. Same with, I think it was the Mach-E. Maybe the previous generation MEB cars was also pumping at higher compressor, but I've seen this in many cars that they prioritize to cool down the battery quickly. But in the newest and latest and greatest MEB, the cooling is so efficient that it doesn't need to pull that much power. And there was one time when I tested the ID4, you guys remember, right? Earlier this summer, new ID4 with a new ABRP 550 motor and the fast charging, just like this one. It had a faulty AC unit, so it couldn't. It was at zero all the time. It was kaput. The AC was kaput, but it still managed to cool down the battery fast enough so that the next stop I didn't rapid gate, and by the time I would rapid gate, I would be at 50% anyway, and I would go to the next charger. And another impressive part here is this. Okay, what the heck are we looking at? Well, that's the minimum temperature, that's the maximum temperature. The difference between min and max is only 4 degrees Celsius, roughly 4.5 degrees. That is really good. The Korean cars, for example, you know, EV6 and Ioniq 5, they have as high as 12 degrees Celsius delta between min and max, which is not ideal, because the cooler cells will dictate how fast you can charge. And then eventually, once it gets too hot, then the hotter cells also dictates how fast you can charge. So ideally, you want to have as low delta as possible between min and max. Toyota BZ4X tops it all with 18 degrees Celsius delta between min and max. That is not good at all. But there are some other German cars that has even lower delta between min and max. So, man, what I'm seeing here in the car scanner is impressive stuff, but you kind of need to understand what all this means. We are now at Inspiria, in the background there, Science Center, Tesla supercharger. Yeah, you guys have seen this before. So this is the good shit. Water cooled cables, 500 amp. Actually, you can go to 670 amp roughly. But let's see. Okay, so just like last time, I can close the door. Cooling hasn't started yet. It wants to heat at the battery initially. Look at that, 184 kilowatt. Oh yeah. And then here, 500 amp. Oh yeah. So, I found that this car measures distance spot on. So that means that we can count to 1,000, but you can't see it here because there are no decimals, but you can see it here. Yeah. And then, look at this. Is this a coincidence? The ID7 limousine or whatever, right? Had a consumption of 214 watt-hour per kilometer. All right, my only concern is that there might be stau eventually here, but hopefully the stau starts at 7 and we should pass by here roughly at 6. So hopefully we can clear the stau area, and once we're in Oslo, then we're good. So it charges blistering fast. We have to drive another 137 kilometers. That means you have to drive a little bit past Jesholm and then turn back and then...
Please turn right in 100 meters.
What the heck, woman? Shit, okay. So, yeah, a little bit more and then we are good. But okay, the way we count time now is that you take the current time, add 3 hours, it becomes 8 hours and 40, okay, whatever, and then minus 9 minutes. So we are currently at 8 hours and 6 minutes. Oh, can we match the 9:25 on the previous run? Let's see. Man, this is crazy. We are good to go. We have charged for around 12 minutes. It's still taking 155 or roughly 150 kilowatt. And we have enough juice, more than enough juice. We might arrive with almost 10%. Oh, let's go. No, we're getting closer and closer to Oslo, and there'll be more and more left lane huggers. So every left lane hugger might delay me by only 5-10 seconds, but multiply that by 50, or I don't know, and then it becomes quite significant, several minutes maybe. So, but have no fear, because I time it when I pass the Svinesund bridge, and also when I left, when I stopped and when I left in Spiria, so I can calculate how long I spend here versus how long it should be, and then we can correct for all the slowpokes blocking us in the left lane. Oh, we managed to get out of Oslo before the Stau happens into the Oslo, but now on the way out I see that already here at Skedsmokorset, just 10 minutes north of Oslo, Arnabru-ish, Stau starts forming, and it's only 6:22 in the morning. So note to self, get past Oslo around 6, not much later than 6. Yeah, oh shit. Slow pokes also over here. We are getting close to Jessheim, and it's 6:30, and to make the calculation short for you guys, 6:30 is when we're supposed to exit towards Jessheim, but we are not there yet. And you see how much we were slowed down by all the left lane huggers, the campers here. So we then have to deduct extra time for the slowness, traffic, whatever, before we count down. But we are now at 982 kilometers, so we still need to drive another 18 kilometers. Here's the exit, 32, so that means 2 minutes of delay. Okay, it wasn't that bad, all right? But 2 minutes is 2 minutes. And now we still have to count down, 986. Okay, let's do the countdown. 9990, 9991, 9992. Come on, 9993. 9994. 995. 996. 997. 998. 9999. 1000 time 6:39, which means 9 hours and 28 minutes. Oh, we have to round it down to 9:30, or can we round it down to 9:25, which is the same as the other ID7? Oh, because it just turned just right now when we're counting down. It turned, we were like 10 seconds too late. We have to consult with the group here. Yes, the consortium. We have to find out, do we round up or down? Consumption was almost spot on, 211 watt-hour per kilometer. The other run was 214. Super consistent. Oh, let's get back home then. Oh yeah, and over here we had 11% battery, so we actually had a little bit too much juice. 11%, that's plenty. We could have shaved off 30 seconds of charging there, huh? Going to show you guys something here. I prepared the charging now. It's waiting for me to plug in. Once I plug in, watch this. I noticed this with the ID7, is that, wait for it. Oh, there, click. Was that 30 seconds? Look how fast it handshakes. From when we plugged in, it took maybe 30 seconds before it started charging. I know that V3 superchargers, they are quite fast to send commands. Because handshake is like, the supercharger is asking the car, what are you? And then the car replies, oh, I want to charge. And then the supercharger replies. So if both sides are quite quick to respond, then the handshake goes fast. Tesla is even faster at handshake. It takes maybe just 5 seconds for the Tesla to start charging on V3. And the slowest would be to use a fat e-tron on an Ioniq, because Ioniq chargers tends to be slow, and fat e-tron, they are dog slow. It's more like, who are you? I'm an e-tron. And then tritium chargers like, what do you want? I want to charge. Okay. How many volts do you need? You know, it's stuff like that. You know what I mean? Look here, 108. Boom. Okay. Anyway, all is good. Based on, okay, I'm not making this up, but I asked a few people who were in here. Okay. So many people claim that, at least they say 925. I haven't said anything to convince people to go for one or the another, but many people claim 925. So yeah, all right. So I also kind of agree, because we had some traffic that had some errors and so on. But when it comes to that, the not cool charging plug, whatever cable at Kungsbacka, that's not anything we can do. It's not a mistake, because that site didn't have any other option. We had to charge on the hypercharger, so there we cannot deduct anything. But okay, Taycan is 40. Okay, that's great. But okay, let me summarize then. And then donation shout out. We have Botjes Krutzel. He donated 1.49 pounds through Super Chat. Uwe Höppner supported this live stream with $25. Thanks for Lillehammer videos. Oh, he liked the Lillehammer videos. Me and my wife stayed there and also stayed at Ego. Wow, nice. To North Cape. Wow, okay, awesome. Achtung Polizei donated $75. Dankeschön. 9 hours 40. Oh, it was way better than that. Trim BM tipped $5. Keep up good work. Thank you very much. And then Mikael Beck donated 45 Danish krona, which is worth probably around 70 NOK. Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, what did we learn today after the test? Well, that my tests are quite consistent. Even after running for 1,000 kilometers, that takes 9.5 hours-ish. As long as we apply the corrections and we understand what the heck happens in different situations, we should end up with the same time. And this is the whole point with the test, is that you should be able to repeat it as long as you take out the variables, which is traffic and other stuff, right? And as long as the weather is roughly the same, then you should get more or less the same charging session. I mean, the same result. Given that the charging sessions are also consistent, that's not always the case. Some cars overheat or cold gate, or you give punishment points and stuff. But at least with the ID7 now, the Tourer, we wanted to find out, when you get the station wagon, which is slightly less efficient, do you take any penalty? Does it slow you down? No, it doesn't. But we had the more efficient rims. So I think the rims and tire, whatever, wheels, right, they kind of cancel out the disadvantage with the big box in the back. So now you know, if you want the best, then you can go for this configuration. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.